I started playing when around first grade, maybe a little bit younger, but I had an older brother who played. My dad coached him. Like very competitive girl. I wanted to be better than him. I wanted to play him one-on-one all the time. And so yeah, I started playing because I had an older brother who played and I just wanted to be better. So I think for me, it was early when I realized I really loved doing it. Like no one had to ask me, no one had to force me to want to go get better. And obviously, I had a natural talent, but I really wanted to build on that talent as well and keep working hard. And um, I always had a feeling that this was the game for me. So. Yeah, looking back on it, I probably wouldn't do it again. It might have been a little crazy, but we're both really passionate, and he knew I wanted to be great, and he just tried to set me up for success. So we would work out 3, 4 times a day, like rent out the gym 7 days a week. It was a grind when I was little, but I loved it. And I definitely have moved away from that now to save my body, but it made me who I am today. It made me tough, and it was really the best. I did used to play softball at a pretty high level, and the craziest workout story I have is my dad used to make me practice taking pitches. So I would literally stand in the batter's box and he would just hit me with balls as hard as he could so I could practice taking pitches. So that might be my best moment. But we've had some pretty crazy basketball ones too. Because it's always what I've wanted, and I've never changed past, and I've always kept my head down and kept going, and my family has always supported me. I have a great support system. My coaches have always supported me. So there's no reason really for me to feel like anything I need to do anything else. Like this is something that I'm in love with, and I want to do it for the rest of my life. So
I was in Thailand, and his like assistant like hit me and was like, "Hey, Kobe like really likes your game. Like he thinks you're a baller. Like he wants to work with you. Like can you come out in the summer like and train with him maybe?" And like I saw the text and I was like, Kobe Bryant, like, no. And then like they texted me again like 2 days later and they're like, hey, like Kobe keeps talking about you, like he really wants to work with you, like can you like guys need to come out. And I was like, okay. So I like texted him back and I was like, Kobe Bryant, like the Kobe Bryant wants to like train me. And he's like, yeah. And so we got a date worked out that I could go out there. It was like 4 days, and I just gotta work, like he just gotta work side by side with me and like help me fine tune my game, and share parts of the game that he just was different at, and like his mindsets that set him apart and things like that. And so off the court, on the court, mental, physical things, like anything you can imagine, we talked about it. So it's something that I'll obviously hold on to for the rest of my life.
and what he meant to me, like mostly I feel like he made me feel okay. Basketball, like I'm super competitive, like I'm gonna fight. And like I always had felt like that was bad about me. And I had people growing up that would be like, you need to change that. Like people aren't gonna like that you act like that. And Kobe was like, he saw that in me, and I think he just let me know that it was okay that I was the way I was, because he was like that, and it's what made it who he was. And it was one of the first times where I really felt like seen by another player. Like I feel comfortable in who I am now.
30 minutes, he just kind of sat there and he watched her, and I came over and we got done, and he just nonchalantly man, he said, man, she's special. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. And he was like, no, I've just never seen anybody move, a female move like she's moving, and at the intensity at which she does it. He was like, you guys got something. And I remember when he told me that, I remember coming home and thinking, man, Kobe Bryant just told me that. Like, that means something. Like, we've been doing something right.
Baylor, and Louisville.
Okay, so what set Louisville like atop from the other two?
I wanted to play in front of a crowd, and like
Mm-hmm.
at the Yum Center, like you said, like it is packed every night. Like even on nights when we're playing like a low ranked ACC team, like the fans like show out. Like he's not an easy coach. Like he's gonna hold you accountable, but I mean he lets you play free, and it makes the game fun. I think out of high school, the system at Baylor was a little bit different. It was set up in a way that I would have been playing with two super dominant bigs and Alyssa Smith. I think they had Melissa, like Queen Agbo, like very, very, they were very big. And me coming in the past years, her offense, guards were it was a pretty one-dimensional offense. We're getting into the post, and that was working for them. That was great. So I knew that's probably the style of play I would have been coming into, and I just don't fit well into that. My style of play is different, and so I think at that time with the system Baylor had, I wouldn't have been a good fit. It wasn't anything like it was so hard for me to tell Coach Mulkey no, and she knew it. She knew it wasn't anything with her. Like our connection, stayed fresh. We didn't talk while I was at Louisville, but the minute I called her when I was in the portal, it was like we talked every day since Baylor. So, that was why out of high school. Throughout the season, even when I didn't know I was transferring here yet, was like, man, I want to play on that team. Just like the energy that the coaches coach with, the energy Coach Mulkey brings to the court, the energy the assistants bring to the court, the energy of the girls, the attitude the girls play with. I think, the culture of the team really drew me in, but then obviously getting a chance to play for one of the best point guards ever and Coach Mulkey and learn from her is something that's really valuable to me. And then, the fans here, like no other. I'm the type of player that loves to play in front of a big crowd and entertain, as you would say. So, yeah. Transferring for me was a very thought out but last minute decision. It wasn't until at least probably 2 weeks after LSU even won the national championship that I decided I think it would be best for me to enter the transfer portal. I had the idea pop in my head, but emotionally I was very tied to my teammates at Louisville, but just individually the best thing for me and my personal well-being, my happiness, my basketball development was to transfer. Even the bigs that I am playing with, they're a little bit more versatile. They can play the perimeter, come off the block. So the system that the team has and the flow and the style of play fits me a little bit better. And I'm also in a position where I'm going to be able to play multiple positions. So I have the capability to step out and play the one now, where if I would have went to Baylor out of high school, I don't know if I would have been ready to step up and play the one. Point. I've always been a great leader, but I think there's a different type of leadership when you're playing the one. And so I think, getting me to understand that change in leadership style and understanding how to really run a team and a team with so much talent is where she can really help me. Just watching her from the outside I really loved her energy. I think I can't remember one of the games she did one of her like patented celebrations. I literally DM'd her and I was like, I love that. Like that's the type of personality on the court that I can relate to. Like I love that competitive energy. Like she doesn't care, and I love that about her. I mean, I thought she was a great competitor. I think she does what she does well, the best in the country. She's an amazing rebounder. How it's changed since I've got here, I think I've enjoyed getting to see our friendship develop. I think she's a great leader. She cares about her teammates, and I think a lot of people on the outside that aren't here every day, try to make us seem selfish, or we all have our own thing going on and we're not dedicated to this team. And I think it's really the opposite. She's a great leader. She cares about everybody. She's the first person to pick you up if you're missing shots, if you're if coach is on you a lot. So yeah, I think that's something that I wish more people would get to see, that side of her.
Cool.
She's a great coach. I have a lot to learn from her. She is fiery, but I can match her fire for fire, that's for sure. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'm already learning a lot. But yeah, it's just I'm taking it day by day, not getting too far ahead of myself, not thinking in the past, and that's all I can do. Engage on social media at this point in my career. You know, there's every level of opinion. There's people that were really for it and really against it, and so you know, you can't swing either way too much. So I just focused on the people around me, the coaches I had around me, my parents, my family, my friends, and they were all supportive of it, so that's all that I cared about. It's a whole new environment. It's a big change, but you know, I'm just taking it day by day. Super grateful for the opportunity to be here. And so yeah, there's not much else I can do except for embrace the change and embrace the people around me.